What up, boys? It's been a while. Not picking up Joshy, so I haven't been doing the videos. But today's gonna be about why I discipline you guys. All right. So this comes in the context of Genesis 1. Human beings are supposed to be the caretakers of creation, right? God has told us to rule and serve creation with the abilities He's given us and with godly wisdom and love, right? That's the purpose of humans, right? Ideally, in Genesis 1. And then we're supposed to spread that out throughout all of creation. Oh my gosh, look at that Corvette. Oh my gosh, that's stunning 1962 Vet, I think. Anyway, yeah, so that is our purpose in creation. Yeah, to do it, spread it out, do it in community. Whoa. Remember, there's one human, Adam, human, and then one is cut in half. Technically, not just the rib. It's actually a splitting in half of the human. And then they become two, but then they're joined to become one again. So that picture, right? One into many, back into one, is the same picture we have for humans. We are many, we're supposed to spread out, scatter throughout the world, ruling and serving creation in godly wisdom and love. Right? But we're all one under, technically Jesus, right? The human, the ideal human. Okay? So that is what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be image bearers of God, right? So why we discipline you, bringing it back, or why I discipline you is so that you are still you're doing that so that you can do your human purpose, right? Unique to you guys, with your skill sets and your personalities, and how God has given you certain gifts and things like that, abilities, right? But it's supposed to be in one with the many, right? The many become one, and we do it all throughout the world. So when we discipline you, it is so that you can do that function. Now, of course, in Genesis 3, we see that there is a dragon or a snake and evil of some sort trying to deceive us, right? So there is some sort of deception from some spiritual beings. And so that's why our battle is not against other humans, even though we may get mad at other humans because they do certain things or whatever, or maybe as children you guys do the wrong things, the things that aren't righteous, that aren't right. It's really because of deception, right? It's we choose to do it, and then there's also deception. So I mean, there's it's not just these evil forces or whatever in the spiritual warfare, but it's also us choosing not to because we're not wise, right? So our complete salvation isn't complete until we get our new bodies. And then, God, maybe I should explain. We don't choose the right thing, right, as human beings. And because we don't, we bring death and chaos and curses back to ourselves, right? So what God does is He, as we place our allegiance in Jesus, our faith, allegiance, we follow Jesus, whatever you want to call it, there's an action to it. It's not just a mental thing, but we do thing of following, taking up our cross, all these Christian words. But we actually do the thing that humans were meant to do. On the earth, we follow Jesus, we put our allegiance to Jesus, and then we are filled with God's Spirit. So we are empowered to follow God, and then our salvation isn't complete until Jesus returns, and then we receive our new body so that we can rule and serve creation fully as image bearers on the new creation, right? So in the meantime, we're being worked on, we're working on being filled with God's Spirit and being the image bearers we're supposed to be, and that's why we will discipline you. So we shouldn't discipline people just to spite them or smack them and make them feel bad. And I'm sure I'm not the best at this, neither will you guys be when you're parents. Just remember that. And then, but, we want to train you guys to be that image bearer, to do what humans are supposed to do. And then you need to have that understanding so that your training and your discipline will make more sense. Does that make sense? So, just get the big picture. And I think, a lot of times we're told, we're justified by faith, and then we can be together with God. It doesn't give the whole picture of who we are, right? So we got to have understanding what humans are here for. We got to understand that first 3 or 4 chapters in the Bible, and then understanding what God's doing at the end, right? Or New Jerusalem or heaven comes to earth. So heaven and earth are always meant to be together. When you have that understanding, our purpose makes more sense, what we're here for, what we're doing, and then we can follow our callings. I know that's a lot, that's very individualized, but yeah, maybe we do have a calling within the greater many so that we can be one. But a lot of times we don't become that one because we emphasize individualism too much. So we ignore the many, so we never become one, right? And what we do, and our faith is mostly individualized and then just going to heaven when we die, right? But I'm saying all this so you guys understand why we discipline you. So, taking away your phone or grounding you or whatever, yes, it's a pain. You guys get mad. But it's for a purpose. And I want you guys to see the overall purpose so that you guys can be fully what you guys need to be. Make sense? Hopefully. Not under 3 minutes. So, probably on YouTube. 9 minutes, boys. Love you.